Aries, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late March 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aries collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you have for the Rams in the late portion of March, which is technically Aries season? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aries, late March 2026. What's the vibe here for my good friends? And while we get this card out, I just want to wish each and every single one of you a very happy birthday, whether it's still coming up, whether it's today. I hope you have a great one, my friends. As a lot of you know, I'm part of Aries gang myself, April 8th. So hopefully it's a great birthday season. I always call Aries season the true new year, for a variety of reasons. But we have this really nice spiritual card starting us off here. And she always reminds me of the High Priestess for a lot of different reasons. Now, that might seem like a pretty plain looking card, but there's a lot beneath the surface. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as we can see, we have this divine feminine figure. She looks wise and a little bit stern. In front of her, there's this little crystal ball with a key within it. There's also a lockbox right next to her. So to me, this always screams high priestess energy. The keeper of knowledge, the keeper of information. I would say she's the matron of psychics, intuitives, and tarot readers, and she does look like a fortune teller, right? Now, a big theme that always comes up with high priestess energy, if you're not connected to Pisces, is your intuition could be extra on point, or your spiritual sensitivity could be heightened whenever this shows up. That's usually a good thing, but this is also a card that's very hush hush, very quiet. There could sometimes be a bleed over into secrecy. Now, again, I'm not saying that you're keeping some sort of secret for some areas. Maybe there's just some questions. Maybe you're diving a lot into spiritual stuff. Could be any and everything here, but it's very quiet. The High Priestess knows a lot, but she doesn't say a lot. So we're just going to let her chill out right there. Not going to pester her. Let's get into tarot. Watch your intuition, though, your gut instinct. Yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for Aries gang. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Massive Change. Now, I always say that life is about perpetual change. Things are always shifting, even if not quickly. Things are always transforming and moving forward. But this one felt a little more intense, a little more meaningful. So this could be a lot of things, whether it's your internal self changing or shifting, how you feel about certain things changing and shifting, literal situations. Like, it did feel pretty major, but change isn't always a bad thing. And if there's any sign that could deal with it, it would be the Aries gang, right? But let's see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Aries gang. What do we got? In late March for my good friends. Oh, yeah, we got the moon. So a lot of similarities with the vibe here between the moon and the High Priestess vibe. Let's get a couple more. We get this one tucked in right here by the amethyst, so it could chill out. Let's get a couple more here for Aries. Big secrecy. Oh, searching, scouring. There's a big eye for detail. Very strategic as well. Let's get one more here, and we'll start piecing it together. So what do we got? There's also this energy of like what's next that I'm starting to pick up too. Okay, we have the devil. Something we might need to watch out for. Again, this could just be material world stuff. When I see the devil, doesn't completely tank the reading, but it's worth paying attention to. Now, let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, we have a nice mixture of elements. I always like to look at the elements because they tell us how the energy is flowing. And it's a good framing for how the reading flows. We have water, fire, and earth. Okay, so I like it. It's not too heavy one way or another. When it comes to water, that's the realm of the internal, so emotions, feelings, matters of the heart, people or things that we're emotionally invested in or that we care about, emotions in general. Water is great for creativity, expressiveness, so whether it's literal creation or art, the creative bug could really hit you when we have some water showing up. The downside to water energy, it's always shifting, it's always changing rapidly, right? The tides are always ebbing and flowing. It's up, it's down, it's sideways, it's all around. So we're going to need to look at this. In the center, we do have fire, which is Aries' power element. It's our comfort zone. I always say fire is the realm of action. So whether it's actions you take, the actions other people take, the actions we're planning on taking, could be any and all of that. I think of health, I think of vitality, I think of energy levels. So whether your energy levels are up or down, there could be some fluctuation there. Uh, I like fire because there's passion, there's drive, there's desire. So great energy for Aries right there. But the downside with fire, it could be a little volatile, it could be a little explosive, where the energy looks like it's going one way and then it could peel off and take a left on you. So we do want to keep a close eye. Then we have Earth, complete opposite of what we have going on up in the front. Earth can speak about day to day life. It could speak about routine. It could speak about feelings of stability and security. So, whether you're feeling very secure, whether you're feeling trapped, I mean, that's when we get to the rough side of it. Earth could represent the earthly, the material, work, business, finance, home, family. So, the world that we live in, the downside I already alluded to it, right? Like Earth energy can make you feel trapped or stuck or bored. So, we want to look at it further. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we got the moon. Now, I like it. It's a very subtle, soft type of energy, similar to the high priestess. As far as zodiac signs, this one classically connects to Pisces. Some readers also link it to Cancer. Now, the moon is the total opposite of the sun, whereas the sun card, it's bright, it's out there, it's intense, it's in your face. This one, not so much. Again, there's this waxing and waning that this energy seems to do, even if very subtle. So I would again say watch out for subtle things, subtle differences, subtle shifts, especially with what we have coming up. Now, the moon is great for dreams, intuitive gifts. And so, again, if you're one of the Aries that have very sharp intuition, when this shows up, it's like I feel something in my bones, and your intuition might be right. Um, I don't even want to call it the downside, but this is the most mysterious card in the whole entire deck. So, whether it's something that you're looking for, something you're searching for, a lot of questions, the unexpected, the surprising, that all falls under the umbrella of the moon. Which again, the downside of it can represent secrecy or purposely obscuring something. Again, I'm not saying you're doing that, but we do want to keep a close eye as we move further, especially with what we have on the back end of the spread. Now, moving to the middle, we have the Two of Wands, and we see this person that looks like they're choosing a path to walk. I would say with all twos, they could represent decisions, choices, partnerships. And this one is depicted with a globe in their hand, where it's like I'm plotting my course forward. So to me, this Two of Wands is very closely tied into either watching, keeping an eye on something, or planning. There's this big strategic energy, and I've been seeing this through the zodiac in recent weeks. Where there's like a lot of planning, a lot of strategy going on. So whether that's advice from spirit saying like, okay, Aries, as you move ahead, do it in a planned out, structured way. That could easily be it. Maybe someone you're connected to is in the planning phase of something. That's very possible. But the way it looks, just with the spread itself, how it's kind of glaring down at the moon, it's like I'm searching for something. I'm searching for information. I'm searching for answers. I'm looking. I'm watching. I'm waiting. So we're going to have to see what this is. And for some Aries, maybe you're under the microscope a little more than you normally are. Would make sense as we move into Aries season, where it's like focus is aligning. Now, on the back end, we do have the devil. I don't want everyone to get freaked out about it. And I mean, I just want to say about the Two of Wands, we need to watch out for plans going awry. But back to the devil, this card is tied to Capricorn. So whether you have Capricorn placements, maybe you're connected to Capricorn, the good aspects, and you know me, I'm an optimist. I'm always going to give you the good side. It is great for money. It is great for abundance. It's great for the material aspects of life. So that's something that we could hang our hat on and call a silver lining. So if you're in money mode, work mode, task mode, this is really good. The downside to the devil energy, I'm sure you could guess it, right? It's an energy that can feel stuck. It could feel burdened. This can represent situations or problems that aren't quite new, that they've kind of been with us for a while. This is a very sticky type of energy where it's like once it arises, it's there. So whether it's something you're having a hard time shaking, uh, in the roughest sense, yeah, it could be toxicity. It could represent jealousy, obsession. I'm not calling anyone out, but the devil, is a highly, highly focused type of energy, if you get my drift. And especially next to the Two of Wands, it's like I can't stop looking at this. And there's also temptation involved. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Aries. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that moon. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aries, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, moon time. Why is the moon here? For my good friends. Thank you. It's just so sudden, and I really want to see how it all plays as we move further. So Judgment is a very in-depth card. It's very angelic. It's happy, or I am happy, that we have an angelic card to kind of offset this devil energy. That's a good thing. So we have like this little yin yang of balance. But to me, it's a card that's explosive, right? When I see Judgment, could it be decisions? Possibly, especially with the Two of Wands. But to me, it's sort of just action. So for some Aries, if you're more spontaneous, this could be like unexpected, surprising, or even explosive action that either you or somebody else might take, because we go from 0 to 100. That's just how it feels. Now, aside from the unexpected, surprising action and all that stuff, Judgment, again, could be decision. Sometimes it also shows up with karmic situations when things return. So that's another thing. I'm not going to really push that too far. To me, it just feels like someone making a move out of the blue. So again, especially with the devil on the back end, watch for urges, watch for temptations, because this is someone where even if they have a plan for how they want to do something, it's like, no, I'm moving away from the plan and I'm just doing this because I want to do it. So again, whether you or somebody else, it's like I'm not following the rule book. I'm not following the plan. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a big believer in calculated risk and going with the flow, but it just feels very out of nowhere. So we have the surprising, unexpected action. Very simple, very straightforward. Now, for those areas that do have a decision, a choice, or a crossroads on your plate, this is Spirit really asking you to not rush it. There is something that Spirit might want you to not rush, where it's like, just let it flow. Just let the energy flow. Let it do what it does. So there might be something that just needs to run its course. We're going to keep moving. I'm getting a lot there. But let's go in on the Two of Wands, because that's a little more planned out, eyes on type of energy. I really want to get to the devil as well. Why is the Two of Wands here for Aries? What do we got here for my good friends? Thank you. Total opposite. So it's like there's this one energy that is more than patient, where it seems very unbothered. Then this other energy here in the front is the complete and total opposite. So I hope this isn't an energy that someone is embodying both, right? Because like if it is, it's like unpredictable. It's like, all right, well, which version am I going to get? Am I going to get the wild one, or am I going to get the chill one? If these are two individuals, they're in totally different energies though too. Whereas this one's just, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to think about it. The Four of Cups underneath the Two of Wands is very, very cautious, taking its time. So there is this energy around planning. So again, for some Aries, whatever it is you're dealing with, maybe Spirit would rather you take the cautious route, plan the steps ahead. This is someone really, really thinking something through, where it's like, no, it has to be perfect. I want to do it this way. Now, if we move away from the planning, yes, I do have this like really strong analysis going on too, especially with the devil here on the back end. So just know you might be getting a little more attention than you normally do. So whether it's work, personal relationships, it's like somebody keeping tabs or watching. That's showing up too. So it's like we have this very interesting dynamic of energy showing up. We got the strategy, we got the planning, we got the observing, but then we also have all that energy going out the window on the front. So you see what I mean? It's like, all right, well, what's going on here? Let's keep moving. Nothing wrong with adjusting on the fly. I'm a big believer that sometimes that's necessary. But let's see what the devil has. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the devil here for Aries? Yeah, it's like a little tug of war. And again, this energy in the center just feels very, very unbothered. So again, whether that's you, maybe there's a thing or a situation where you're like, yeah, no, I'm cool. I don't really mind. Or it's somebody, the energy just feels very lax and very unbothered, even though I have like all this planned out energy. Let's go in on the devil though. and then we'll do a recap. So why is the devil here for Aries? Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Ace of Cups in reverse underneath this devil. Yeah, this is just very odd. And I'm just going to be honest with how this feels to me. This is like very close in the realm of feelings and emotions. So whether it's how you're feeling or how someone else is feeling, it's like we look like we're turning a corner, but there's something that is still the same. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If we're talking about someone's emotions, how they're processing something, it's like it seems like we're turning a corner, but there's just something about them or something about their behavior or something that remains the same. The Ace of Cups, it could be offers, opportunities, conversations, messages, all that kind of stuff. Could also be one's emotional well-being. So like when I see it in reverse underneath the devils, it is like either what I already mentioned or this energy is a little bit grudgy too. So that's something to watch out for. It's a very long memory type of energy where it's like I will forgive but I will not forget, but there's also this energy that seems like it's still the same. So I don't want to say like same stuff different day. When it comes to any issue or situation or problem in life, some stick around longer than others, right? And that's kind of how this feels, where it's like, all right, well, maybe there's some progress, but the root cause is still there for whatever reason. So, not a bad energy overall, but there's a lot of stuff that's worth keeping an eye on and worth being cautious about in this time. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. If you kindly look in the box, we have this little dynamic of energy. And I guess it depends on what you're going through, because for some of you, this could be channeled for good. But position number one, we have the moon with judgment in the upright. This does feel like surprising, unexpected action from either you or somebody else. It is quite urge based. I don't want to say it's risky, but it's like, I don't feel like following the plan. I just want to do what I want. So it's just very impulsive. And if we tie that in with what comes here on the back, that makes a lot of sense. You just need to watch out for the impulses and temptations. In the center, we have the Two of Wands with the Four of Cups, completely safe. Like this energy could also imply distance. So whether this is someone that's flip flopping between the two, when I see the Two of Wands, Four of Cups, very safe, very meticulous, planned out, strategic. For some areas, that could be an advice. But there is also this energy that's looking before it leaps, just being very cautious, very careful. And again, that could be advice too. So watch out for that. And I also got this unbothered type of feeling, like very lackadaisical. On the back end, we have the devil with the Ace of Cups in reverse. Something or someone hasn't quite fully made that turn. So there could be certain situations where you might be seeing progress, but it's like, we're not there quite yet. It's like it's still the same. There's still something that is fully unchanged so far. And watch out for the emotional ups and downs. I did say this could represent an attachment or someone being a little grudgy, long memory. So watch out for anything like that. But please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Aries. What do we got? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out. What do we got for Aries, gang? What do we got for our friends? Cool. Death. Don't get nervous about this big Scorpio energy. So if you're connected to a Scorpio, or if you're an Aries like me that also has Scorpio placements, this could just represent it, right? Now, death, to me, yes, it can represent endings and like difficulties, similar to what we were seeing here with the devil. But to me, it's more about metamorphosis. It's like a phoenix rising from the ashes. And it seems like the theme the past couple of weeks have been change or lack thereof. So when the devil shows, I mean, the death card shows up underneath, to me, it's like, yeah, no, it's only a matter of time before this energy shifts. Now, the downside about this card, this could represent a situation, problem, something from the past that still might be energetically attached. The death can represent some difficult situations, even if you're shifting out of it. When I see this card in the shadows, it's like, no, there's still some energetic residue. So keep that in mind, whether it's like the after effects or the fallout of something. The death card to me still feels active, if that makes sense. But we're just going to put it down right there, my good friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details the March subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight into your situation and you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The March calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the March subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 subscribers to win either a copy of the Everyday Witches Tarot, beautiful deck, or handmade crystal pendant, which I showcase at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what zodiac signs do you get along best with? Which ones are your favorite? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.